Okay, so your sales team are really busy. There's loads of meetings, there's loads of email inquiries coming back, loads of LinkedIn DMs being sent, and there's a lot of activity in general within your sales team. It looks really healthy. However, when it comes to your targets, your sales team's targets, the revenue generated, they never seem to be quite there. You're experiencing what I call the sales mirage. So the sales mirage is led by, in reality, an unhealthy sales team. There's a full pipeline but no conversions. Forecasts are all over the place. The deadlines of the deals coming in always seem to change. And there's, like I said, loads of meetings, but no results. There's no deals coming in. There's lots of expenses off the back of these meetings as well a lot of the time, but never actually bringing in the revenue to generate the profit off the back of these expenses. And the Mirage really has a knock-on effect on the business. There's a revenue impact. The team will leave all the time, which brings an expense impact. You tend to lose market positioning within the industry because your competitors aren't in the Sales Mirage. And your investors tend to lose a bit of confidence in your forecasts because the sales team are telling you that they've got this many deals coming in, and in reality they never materialize. So when you're in the Sales Mirage, there's a few fixes that people try, and unfortunately these fixes don't work, and I'll explain why they don't work. So hiring better people, better salespeople doesn't work because you're heavily relying on the salesperson being able to come in and transform your sales process. But this salesperson's leaving somewhere. And if they're leaving somewhere, there's going to be a reason. And 9 times out of 10, this is because the salesperson wasn't performing in the other organization. You can try and generate more leads, but this is like filling a leaky bucket. You can pour more in the top, but your conversions will still drop through. And actually, most of the time, the conversions just get worse as more leads flood in. They don't get better. You can buy new tools, which sometimes is the right fix, but to know which tool is going to help is very difficult. You can try new email systems or pipeline systems to make sure leads are followed up with, but if your sales team aren't fully aligned, then a lot of these processes will become confusing, impossible to keep track of, and it will just clog up the pipeline even further. And you can run more training, which I think is the best solution that I've seen from founders, directors, CEOs is running more training sessions. A lot of the time the managers don't have the time to run the training sessions necessary because the managers are bringing in most of the revenue in the first place, so they can't take time away to help the other sales reps in becoming better. And if you have ended up in the situation where you have a sales mirage, then it's very difficult for the internal people to fix it because they are the people that have put you in this situation. So the causes of the sales mirage tend to come from these 4 factors. There's no standardization between your sales reps. They are winging it or customizing or taking their own unique approach to every sales meeting. They aren't following up because there is no standardized approach. They don't know how often they should be following up. They are putting their finger in the air and seeing which way the wind blows on the day to see if they should reach out to that prospect. The pipeline is fake. There's a lot of reps like to put in these deals because they get the dopamine hit off of putting in the deals, even though they're not necessarily going to come anywhere. And because you don't have that standardization, you don't have the qualification process to know if a deal is real in the pipeline or not. And there's no accountability between the team because of this lack of standardization, and there's no follow-ups, there's no process. You can't keep people accountable when you have no set standard of what they need to be accountable to, which leads to so much chaos within a sales function. But the good news is there is a way to fix it so you can cut through the mirage with simple steps. You need to do a funnel breakdown. So look at your sales funnel and look at where the conversions are dropping off, where people aren't going through to the next step. You need to do team interviews to understand what the team think of the process at the moment, what they think can fix the process, what they are confident in, what they aren't confident in. Then you need to mystery shop the team to see if what they've just said marries up to what you see. And then also mystery shop your competitors to see what they're doing well. What parts make you feel good throughout their process, what parts make you feel bad throughout their process. Do call reviews with your team. So review their calls, sit down with them, talk about what they did well, ask them what they did bad, and then create a full performance report to take to the other decision makers within the business, because then you can align the other parts of the business, whether it's a product part of the business, a development part of the business, whether it's customer experience part of the business. You need to align all of the parts of the business, but the best way to do that is show them where the sales team are struggling at the moment, instead of just pointing fingers at the different organizations. Ask for support, ask if they can do anything that can fix these different challenges within the business. So if you do all of this, you can do it in 7 days. So if you do all of this, you will have a full revenue leak diagnosis, so you know exactly where your revenue's falling out of the process, what's causing you to not hit targets. You can have a framework around how to keep your team accountable, because you can know what's working and what's not working. So then you can say, okay, well, if you're doing this and it's not working, it's because you haven't done this part of what you've noticed from speaking to your team. You can create a 90-day plan off the back of doing this and creating the report to say, okay, this is where we need to fix, this is how we're going to fix it, this is how much it's going to cost, and this is the knock-on effect after we have fixed this. You can have this all within 7 days. And then you can look to the market and say, actually, we need some support in implementing this, this, and this if we want to hit a target next quarter. So let's go to a marketing agency, let's go to a recruitment agency, let's go to a sales trainer and see if they can support us in our 90-day action plan, because we don't have the resources internally already. So imagine you're in the state where after 7 days, you've got a full action plan for the next quarter. So you know that you will hit target. And the good news is, we've done this hundreds of times. We've turned around sales assessments in 7 days for as little as £500. And we're so confident in our sales assessments and identifying gaps in your sales function that we even offer a guarantee. So how it works is we hop on a consultation call, we decide on which package is best for you of the sales assessments, dependent on the size of your business. Minimum is £500. Then we, across the next 7 days, will run assessments, run team interviews, run mystery shopping, look at your full sales function. We've got some clever tools that we use to break down where the deals are falling out and what would happen to your revenue if we did stop those deals falling out at that stage. So we've got some cool tools that we can share with you. And if we can't find you 3 high impact fixes within the time of working with you across those 7 days, we will give you a full refund on your assessment fee. So whether that's the £500 or higher tier package, a full refund, because we're so confident and we've done it so many times. Even the most successful businesses that we've worked with have at least 3. If you're ready to kill the Mirage, book an assessment. We'll get the diagnosis going in the next 24 hours, and you will be able to implement your fixes within the next 7 days. And if you need us to support you in implementing these changes, or you need recommendations, we can point you in the right direction. Click the link below, watch the video, or just book straight in. Depends how keen you are, but we can get this going within the next 24 hours.